Local people, local news.
Good evening, everyone. A local woman claims an Idaho Falls police officer assaulted her 12-year-old son, and she's starting the process to take legal action. Local News 8's Chelsea Brensel exclusively spoke with that mother and the Idaho Falls Police Department about the claims. She has tonight's top story.
Yeah, that's right. The mother's attorney sent a tort claim to the Idaho Falls Police Department. That claim says an IFPD officer used excessive and unnecessary force on her 12-year-old son. The damages stated on that claim are broken teeth, a possible concussion, bruising, and trauma to the neck and face.
There was blood everywhere coming out of his mouth. He was spitting blood, crying, and I called 911 and said that an officer had assaulted my child.
Half of Amy Olzak's 12-year-old son's front tooth is gone after she says an Idaho Falls police officer used unnecessary force.
You heard his teeth hit the trunk, and he instantly started screaming and crying, saying, "You knocked out my teeth."
Olzak says she reported her son missing early in the morning on March 13th.
I just wanted them to help me find where he was.
Olzak and friends spent the day searching. Around 7 o'clock, one of those friends found him.
They found him at a friend's house.
The mother immediately called dispatch.
I just wanted them to be aware. They came over and I talked to an officer for a minute. He walked over to the car, talked to my son, and then he put my son's hand behind his back and lifted him up and slammed his face into the trunk of a car.
That car belongs to Courtney Beck.
I'm not actually sure why the officer did that. There was absolutely no reason for it.
Beck says she watched the whole event unfold.
He put his arm behind his back and then smashed his head into the trunk of my car hard enough that it chipped his tooth and placed him under arrest.
Right by the driver door. So I was closer than most people were.
Jessica Bowles witnessed the whole thing and couldn't believe what happened.
I walked up closer and saw a chipped tooth, blood, and 2 fat lips.
The mother called dispatch again.
Another officer came over and they had decided that he needed medical attention, and so we took him to the hospital.
All 3 women say the officer kept the boy in handcuffs and took him to the hospital.
He was kept in handcuffs the whole entire time at the hospital. They did not take him out of handcuffs until I took him home.
Olzak doesn't know why the officer arrested her son.
In this particular case, there was a juvenile that was assigned as a runaway, and under Idaho law, if a juvenile is assigned a runaway, the fact of that parent signing that child as a runaway gives the police the authority to pick up that child, to seize that child and get that child back, either into a 3B detention facility or return to the family, regardless of the desires of the child.
Captain Royce Clements says Idaho law allows officers to arrest runaways, and that Idaho Falls Police Department takes allegations and complaints against its officers very seriously.
In this particular case, it was determined that we did send this to Internal Affairs, and that is ongoing as we speak. When a case goes to Internal Affairs, there's a process by which we go through that. An investigation is completed, and then once that investigation is completed, the full results of that come back to the Chief of Police, and as an administrative team we discuss that, and the Chief makes a final determination as to what, if any, sanctions or things are going to take place.
Captain Clements isn't sure when that investigation will be done.
We don't blow these things off in any way, shape, or form. We take them very seriously. The public trust is critical to us. We know we can't effectively do this job without the trust of the public. And so when the public comes in and they're not happy with something that we're doing, we take a hard, serious look at it and see what we can do.
Trusting officers is something this mother is now questioning.
I'm just concerned. That's a scary thing for a little boy to have happen, especially when he looks up to the police to we're supposed to have them help us, call them when we need help, and there was just no reason for it.
Just to clarify, the video in there is a reenactment, not actually the event that took place. The mother says she was never notified of any charges filed against her son. I did check the Idaho repository and I didn't find any recent charges for her son. I asked IFPD if they have body cam video. They told me at this time the department does not require officers to wear body cameras. IFPD says it cannot comment further because it is an ongoing investigation. So lots to happen. Just a tort claim filed. That's just the beginning process of the legal action. They have to file that whenever it's a government agency, and then it will go from there.
All right. Well, it sounds like the police are taking it very seriously. Of course, the mother took it seriously, and we'll see where the investigation leads.
Definitely.
And of course, keep people apprised of what happens there.
We will.
All right. Thank you, Chelsea. Well, time now to look at our